All right, it's been probably, no, it's not been a year. It's been many, many months, 8 months, 10 months, whatever, since I showed off the street design that I was doing. Not a street scene, but a whole street. Put things on. I even put it in videos. I took photos on them. Well, it's been a nightmare trying to figure out the process, what I need to do. Okay, so these are gonna be on like pretty thick cardstock, but it's still paper, which means, you know, you could roll it up, you could potentially crease it, you could easily cut it, which is good. I mean, it's pretty thick. So today I'm gonna show you how big this actually is, because I don't think everybody quite understands how massive these street things are. There's 3 designs, and I'm gonna put some stuff on there to give you a little, like an idea, okay? So it's big enough that I had to come into the living room to make this happen. All right, now I know this is just a video of a thing on the floor, so it doesn't really seem like you don't have anything to test to see how big it is. So let me just do this. Let me do this guy heel. Okay, does that help? Is that helping you out? I could do a movie boy, like that. We could do a cat, almost as if on cue. So that is scaled so that it would, like, you know, actually make sense visually. This is what the street has, though. It's got a bunch of cracks in there. It's got the grate cracks, yellow line, white line. This was, I mean, hand drawn by me, all digitally, of course, but all done by me from Scratchy. And there are 2 other designs, okay? So however you want to buy this, you could do like a 3-pack. You can do the individuals. This, which also is just something to add a little more excitement. I'm sure if anybody actually has the 3D printed mutant module, you would like really love to have this piece. But there's like little details in there of like the pipes. Now, I designed these in a way that you could like obviously just do whichever one you wanted, but you could do all 3 and like link them up. And here's the last one, and more cracks, the tire tread. Look at that. So it lines up with the tires on the NECA Tune van. And I hope this helps you with the scale of how large these things actually are. And I got a couple more ways to show you how large these things are. Well, we've already gone over you, Cora, so we know how you scale with it. Thank you, though. As you can see, the width of the street is also pretty natural. It's gonna work fine with like the ramen razor. It actually fits in here. That means the Batmobile will. Pretty much anything that's in this scale is gonna look good on it. Here is half a street scene. I mean, height-wise, obviously. To let you know how large this is. The reason why I designed it this large is I wanted something that actually worked with the NECA street scene that could be on its own, or I don't know what I'm saying. Let me show you what I mean. This was one of the original concepts. I wanted an actual street that stuck out from the street scene. So this street scene is actually to the edge of the paper. And you have this set up so that basically if you wanted an extension, it works. The white line makes sense. Or you could just flip it and go this route. So now you have this full extension of your street scene. Obviously, it's up to you on how you want to work with the depth of it. But you can still have little pieces that visually make sense. The lines make sense. And like I said, you could extend it. So if you have like a crazy nice setup, you could have this longer or wider or whatever. If you want to get real crazy, yes, you could link 2 of these things up and have a left and right side of the road. I mean, I was trying my best to consider photographers a lot with this. So you could link them up this way. You could go side by side and have like a really long one if you wanted to. The layout really is just up to you. There's a little bit of curling happening from the print shop, the way they have to do this. Basically what's happening is there is a really tough coating on the top of these things to give it a matte finish, but also allow you to like kind of try to scratch it, but you can't, which is really important. So if you're doing photography, obviously you could just lay this thing out however you wanted to. Things like kind of line up to a certain degree. You just have to do some very slight cleanup in Photoshop, but you can actually have like a really long shot if you need it. And if you do it this way, the crack technically continues, but again, since they're prints and they kind of get cut at different ways, it's not going to be perfect, but the illusion is kind of there. Again, I don't really expect anybody to be able to do all of these. You may not even be able to do this full size because of how big it is. And if you're thinking about putting this on top of like the NECA sewer stuff, well, this should help you visualize how much larger my piece is. So that is the piece that goes on the NECA sewer. It is definitely bigger. Obviously you could cut this thing down if you wanted to, but I just need to know if people want them this big. If you do, then obviously I will make them and I will sell them. But if this is too large and no one's gonna buy it, then I cannot produce these things. This is gonna be one of those things that I have to have a minimum order to even produce them. So if people aren't really into this, then I cannot make them. To help with that, there are 3 designs that helps me meet the minimum order quantity. So if everybody ordered 3, I would need less orders overall. So it's kind of like the apartment, the April apartment. I couldn't make that without a minimum order. That's what's happening here. So I need you guys to let me know. Thoughts, share your thoughts.